Everyone assumed Zeta-4 was lifeless until a hidden civilization sent a signal. First contact. The observation deck of the exploration vessel Horizon offered the best view of Zeta-4, though best was a relative term. Through the reinforced viewport, Commander Elijah Reeves watched the swirling maelstrom of toxic gases that enveloped the planet. Violently churning clouds in shades of amber and crimson obscured the surface entirely, occasionally split by bolts of electrical energy so powerful they were visible from orbit. Magnificent desolation, Elijah murmured, echoing words spoken centuries ago on humanity's first lunar landing. Magnificent death trap is more accurate, replied Dr. Naomi Winters, the ship's xenobiologist. She approached the viewport, her dark eyes reflecting the storm-racked planet below. Surface temperature averages 380 Kelvin. Atmosphere is primarily sulfuric acid and methane. Radiation levels that would kill an unprotected human in under 5 minutes. Elijah nodded. And yet here we are. Here we are indeed. Naomi agreed, conducting our standard survey from a safe distance before moving on to the next candidate world. She glanced sideways at the commander. As per mission protocol. Elijah said nothing, continuing to stare at the planet. 6 months into their mission to catalog potential colonization sites in the Proxima sector, the Horizon had yet to find anything promising. Just one world after another marked uninhabitable in their reports back to Earth Central. Commander, Naomi prodded. Before Elijah could respond, the ship's communications specialist, Raj Patel, burst onto the observation deck, tablet in hand and excitement written across his features. Commander, Dr. Winters, you need to see this. Raj's fingers danced across his tablet, connecting it to the deck's main display. I was running routine scans of electromagnetic frequencies when I picked up something unusual. The display filled with a scrolling waveform pattern, regular pulses interspersed with longer gaps. What am I looking at, specialist? Elijah asked, moving closer to the display. A signal, sir, originating from the surface of Zeta-4. Silence fell over the observation deck. Naomi was the first to speak. That's impossible. Nothing could survive down there. The signal disagrees, Raj replied. It's artificial, Commander. No natural phenomenon creates a pattern this regular. He highlighted a section of the waveform. See how it repeats. Every 47 seconds, exactly the same sequence. Elijah studied the pattern, a chill running down his spine despite the Horizon's carefully regulated temperature. Could it be automated? A leftover probe or satellite from an earlier expedition? Raj shook his head. No record of any previous landings on Zeta-4. And the signal is coming from the surface, not orbit. Perhaps a crashed vessel, Naomi suggested. Some unfortunate expedition that went off the books. Possibly, Raj conceded. But there's something else. He manipulated his tablet again, and the waveform changed, segments highlighted in different colors. The pattern isn't just regular, it's mathematical. Prime numbers, specifically. It's a deliberate attempt at communication. The implications hung in the air between them. An artificial signal broadcasting mathematical sequences from a world where life shouldn't exist. Either someone was stranded on the surface, or, we need to report this to Earth Central, Naomi said firmly. They'll send a specialized team. That would take months, Elijah countered. If someone's stranded down there, they might not have that long. And if it's not someone stranded, Naomi challenged. If it's something else. Mission protocols are clear, Commander. We observe, we report. We do not engage with unknown phenomena. Elijah turned his gaze back to the viewport, to the swirling hell of Zeta-4. Can you pinpoint the signal's exact location, Specialist Patel? Already done, sir. Raj's dark eyes gleamed with excitement. It's coming from coordinates suggesting a valley region in the northern hemisphere, relatively sheltered from the worst of the atmospheric storms, if our orbital scans are accurate. Commander, Naomi warned, you can't seriously be considering. "Prepare the deep atmosphere shuttle," Elijah ordered, cutting her off. "Specialist Patel, you're with me. Dr. Winters, you'll monitor from orbit." "This is reckless," Naomi protested. "Even our most advanced environmental suits can only withstand Zeta-4's conditions for a few hours at most." "Then we'll be quick," Elijah replied, his decision made. "If someone's down there sending a distress signal, it's our duty to respond." "And if it's not a distress signal?" Naomi pressed. Elijah met her gaze steadily. "Then we may be on the verge of the most significant discovery in human history." 90 minutes later, Elijah and Raj were strapped into the Horizon's deep atmosphere shuttle, a compact vessel designed to withstand extreme planetary conditions. Their environmental suits, the most advanced available to the exploration fleet, were rated for 3 hours of exposure to hostile environments. "Final systems check complete," Raj reported, his voice steady despite the tension evident in his posture. "Environmental shields at maximum capacity. Communication link with the Horizon stable." "This is still a monumentally bad idea," came Naomi's voice over the comm. "If you insist on proceeding, at least maintain constant communication. Any sign of shield degradation beyond expected parameters, and you abort immediately." "Understood, Doctor," Elijah replied, initiating the launch sequence. "We'll be careful." The shuttle detached from the Horizon with a gentle shudder, thrusters firing to adjust its trajectory toward the coordinates of the mysterious signal. As they descended toward Zeta-4's atmosphere, the shuttle's external sensors began registering the increasing hostility of their destination. "Temperature rising," Raj noted as they hit the outer atmospheric layer. "Shield integrity holding at 97%. The shuttle bucked violently as they penetrated deeper, the amber clouds enveloping them completely. Visibility through the reinforced viewports dropped to near zero, the world outside reduced to swirling, angry chaos. Switching to instrument navigation, Elijah announced, engaging the shuttle's advanced guidance systems. "How's that signal looking, Specialist?" Raj checked his console. "Still transmitting. Getting stronger as we approach. We should be within visual range of the source in approximately 12 minutes. If you survive that long," Naomi muttered over the comm. "Shield integrity dropping faster than projected. Currently at 82%. Elijah frowned. "That's a more rapid degradation than expected. Adjust our approach vector, Specialist. Let's use the terrain to give us some cover." Raj nodded, fingers flying over his controls. The shuttle banked sharply, descending toward a series of jagged mountain ranges visible only on their sensors. As they dropped below the worst of the atmospheric turbulence, the violent shaking eased somewhat. "Shield degradation slowing," Naomi reported, a hint of relief in her voice. "New estimate gives you approximately 2 hours before critical failure." "That should be enough," Elijah responded, focusing on navigating through the treacherous terrain. "Specialist, what's our distance to the signal source?" "Less than 5 kilometers in closing," Raj replied. "Sir, I'm getting topographical readings that don't match our orbital scans." "Explain." "According to our data, there should be nothing but natural rock formations ahead. But I'm detecting regular geometric patterns. Structures, Commander. Artificial structures." Elijah's heart raced. "Show me." The main display shifted to a topographical rendering based on their sensor data. And there it was, unmistakable evidence of construction. A series of dome-like structures nestled within a wide valley, partially protected by surrounding mountain ranges. "My God," breathed Naomi over the comm, seeing the same data aboard the Horizon. As they approached, more details became visible through breaks in the toxic clouds. The structures were clearly built with their environment in mind, constructed of materials that appeared to withstand the caustic atmosphere. And more incredibly, there were signs of active maintenance, lights, movement, purpose. "Bring us down 1/2 kilometer from the main structure," Elijah ordered, his mouth suddenly dry. "Let's not appear threatening." As the shuttle settled onto a relatively flat expanse of heat-fused rock, an eerie silence fell over the crew. Through the viewport, they could now clearly see the impossible colony. It wasn't the wreckage of a crashed ship. It wasn't a desperate last stand of stranded explorers. It was a civilization, thriving where nothing should survive. "Commander," Raj said quietly, pointing to his console. "The signal has changed. The regular mathematical sequence had been replaced by something new. A simple linguistic pattern, repeating in what could only be an invitation." "They know we're here," Elijah whispered. As if in confirmation, a section of the nearest structure slid open, revealing what appeared to be an airlock chamber, and standing within it, visible even through the swirling toxic atmosphere, was a figure. Not human, but unmistakably alive and intelligent. The figure raised what might have been a hand in greeting, beckoning them forward. "What now, Commander?" Raj asked, voice barely audible. Elijah stared at the impossible being waiting for them, at the impossible civilization they had discovered. Every protocol, every regulation demanded they retreat, report back, wait for instructions. Instead, he began the process of securing his helmet. "Now, Specialist Patel, we make first contact." Beneath the storm, Elijah and Raj approached the airlock with measured steps, each footfall kicking up puffs of crystalline dust that dissolved in Zeta-4's caustic atmosphere. Their environmental suits were already showing signs of degradation, protective layers slowly being eaten away by the planet's hostile chemistry. "Shield integrity at 76%. Naomi's voice crackled through their comms from orbit. "You have approximately 1 hour 40 minutes before critical failure." "Acknowledged," Elijah responded, his gaze fixed on the figure waiting for them. As they drew closer, details became clearer. The being stood upright on 2 legs, but any similarity to human form ended there. Its body appeared to be covered in overlapping plates, not armor, but seemingly part of its physical structure. Where a human would have a face, there was a smooth, reflective surface that rippled like liquid metal. "Fascinating," Raj whispered. "Some kind of biological adaptation to the environment." Before Elijah could respond, the being made a sweeping gesture toward the open airlock. The meaning was unmistakable, an invitation to enter. "Sir," Raj hesitated, "protocol dictates." "I know what protocol dictates," Elijah cut him off. "But our suits won't last much longer out here, and I don't think our new friend is giving us much choice." With a deep breath, Elijah stepped forward, Raj following close behind. As they entered the airlock, the outer door sealed behind them with surprising speed. Immediately, a fine mist began to spray from vents in the ceiling, coating their suits in a substance that halted the corrosive damage. "Interesting," Elijah noted. "Some kind of neutralizing agent." The inner door slid open, revealing a corridor lit by strips of bioluminescent material embedded in the walls. The atmosphere inside was noticeably different, still not Earth standard, but lacking the immediacy deadly properties of the outside environment. "Dr. Winters," Elijah called through the comm, "we're inside what appears to be a habitation structure." Environment readings. "Atmosphere is primarily nitrogen with elevated carbon dioxide levels," Naomi replied after a moment. "Analyzing the data from their suit's sensors. Trace elements I can't immediately identify. Temperature approximately 310 Kelvin. Survivable for short periods without a suit, but I wouldn't recommend it." The alien guide waited patiently until their exchange was complete, then led them deeper into the structure. The corridor opened into a larger chamber where several more of the strange beings moved about, engaged in what appeared to be scientific or technical work at stations built into the walls. All activity ceased as the humans entered. Elijah felt the weight of alien gazes upon them. "We come in peace," he said, knowing the words were meaningless without translation, but hoping the tone would convey their intentions. Their guide approached what appeared to be a central console and placed a hand-like appendage upon it. The liquid metal surface of its face rippled, and a sound emerged, not from the being itself, but from speakers embedded in the walls. "Welcome to Zentar." The voice was synthesized but distinctly feminine. "I am Ambassador Vakara. We have waited long for others to hear our call. Elijah and Raj exchanged shocked glances. You speak our language? Raj asked. We have studied your transmissions for many cycles, the synthesized voice replied. Your species broadcasts itself loudly across the stars. Elijah stepped forward. I am Commander Elijah Reeves of the Earth exploration vessel Horizon. This is Communications Specialist Raj Patel. We detected your signal and came to investigate. Despite knowing the dangers of our world, Vekara observed, this shows either great courage or great foolishness, perhaps both. We believe someone might be in distress, Elijah explained. A sound emerged from several of the aliens, a rhythmic clicking that might have been laughter. Not distress, Commander. Invitation. It was time to make ourselves known. Why now? Raj asked. And how is this possible? Our scans classified Zeta-4 as uninhabitable. For your science, perhaps, Vekara acknowledged. Yet here we are. Elijah's mind raced with questions. How long have you been here? Did you evolve on Zeta-4? We have existed here for what you would measure as thousands of years. As for our origins, Vekara paused. We do not know. Our earliest memories are of awakening within this world, learning to harness its elements to create our physical forms. Perhaps we evolved here. Perhaps we came from elsewhere. The answer is lost to time. And why contact us now? Elijah pressed. Vekara's liquid metal face rippled, patterns forming that suggested concern. Because we are facing extinction, Commander. And after observing your kind for many cycles, we believe you may be able to help us. The pool's glow dimmed momentarily, as if responding to Vekara's words. What's threatening you? Raj asked. If you've survived here for thousands of years. Zeta-4 is changing, Vekara interrupted. The tectonic activity beneath the surface is increasing. Soon, it will destabilize the chambers where our consciousness resides. If that happens, we cease to exist. Elijah frowned. Can't you relocate, build new structures? Our consciousness is tied to specific mineral compositions found only in certain areas of this world. We cannot simply move. And the time required to adapt ourselves to exist without these elements would far exceed the time we have left. What exactly are you asking of us? Elijah asked carefully. Your species possesses technology that could help stabilize our world's crust, Vekara explained. Or failing that, technology that might help us transfer our consciousness to a more stable vessel. You want to leave Zeta-4, Elijah realized. If necessary, yes. We have watched your kind spread across the stars. You adapt quickly, build magnificently. We believe a partnership could benefit both our peoples. Before Elijah could respond, Naomi's urgent voice came through the comm. Commander, we have a situation. I'm detecting an approaching vessel. Union registry. It's the UES Vigilant. Elijah tensed. The Vigilant was a military vessel, part of Earth's defense fleet. What are they doing here? We're the only expedition authorized in this sector. They're hailing us, Naomi continued. Captain Thorne says they detected our shuttle on the surface, and they're demanding an explanation for why we've landed on a prohibited world. Elijah looked at Vekara, whose liquid metal face had gone still, reflecting his concerned expression. You did not inform your people of our existence, the ambassador stated. We only just discovered you ourselves, Elijah explained. And now it seems we're both in trouble. Vekara's face rippled in what might have been understanding. Then it appears our time for polite introductions has run short. If these newcomers view us as a threat, they might, Elijah admitted grimly. Humanity has a complicated history with the unknown. The pool's glow intensified, patterns swirling more rapidly as if agitated. Then we must convince them otherwise, Vekara declared. Your Captain Thorne wishes to know why you landed on a prohibited world. Perhaps you should show him. Raj looked nervously between them. Sir, if the Vigilant deploys troops, then we better make sure they understand the situation before they do anything rash, Elijah finished. He activated his comm. Dr. Winters, tell Captain Thorne we've made first contact with an intelligent species. Request that he hold position until we can establish proper diplomatic protocols. And if he refuses? Naomi asked. Elijah looked at Vekara, at the impossible civilization they had discovered thriving where nothing should survive. Then remind him that attacking an unknown civilization without provocation violates every principle the Union stands for, he replied, and that I'll personally ensure everyone knows it. As the Vigilant moved into orbit alongside the horizon, Elijah realized they were standing at a crossroads of history. Their next actions would determine whether humanity's first contact with the Centauri would be remembered as a moment of cooperation or the beginning of an interstellar conflict. For your kind, it is. Vekara gestured to their surroundings. For us, it is home. As for why now? The liquid metal face rippled again. Perhaps you should remove your helmets. The neutralizing compound we apply to your suits will protect your equipment, and our internal atmosphere will not immediately harm you. Dr. Winters, Elijah queried. After a tense moment, Naomi replied, against my better judgment. Atmospheric composition doesn't show immediate toxicity, but limit exposure to 15 minutes maximum. With careful movements, Elijah unsealed his helmet and lifted it away. The air had a metallic taste and burned slightly in his lungs, but he could breathe. Raj followed suit, his expression a mixture of terror and wonder. Now, Vekara said, the synthesized voice somehow warmer without the helmet filters, let me show you why we have called out to the stars. Elijah stepped forward. I am Commander Elijah Reeves of the Earth Exploration Vessel Horizon. This is Communications Specialist Raj Patel. We detected your signal and came to investigate. Despite knowing the dangers of our world, Vekara observed, this shows either great courage or great foolishness, perhaps both. We believe someone might be in distress, Elijah explained. A sound emerged from several of the aliens, a rhythmic clicking that might have been laughter. Not distress, Commander. Invitation. It was time to make ourselves known. Why now? Raj asked. And how is this possible? Our scans classified Zeta-4 as uninhabitable. For your kind, it is. Vekara gestured to their surroundings. For us, it is home. As for why now? The liquid metal face rippled again. Perhaps you should remove your helmets. The neutralizing compound we apply to your suits will protect your equipment, and our internal atmosphere will not immediately harm you. Dr. Winters, Elijah queried. After a tense moment, Naomi replied, against my better judgment. Atmospheric composition doesn't show immediate toxicity, but limit exposure to 15 minutes maximum. With careful movements, Elijah unsealed his helmet and lifted it away. The air had a metallic taste and burned slightly in his lungs, but he could breathe. Raj followed suit, his expression a mixture of terror and wonder. Now, Vekara said, the synthesized voice somehow warmer without the helmet filters, let me show you why we have called out to the stars. The ambassador led them to another chamber, this one dominated by a large circular pool of swirling liquid that glowed with an inner light. Around it, several Centauri worked at stations monitoring readings. This is our life source, Vekara explained. What you might call a collective consciousness. It is both separate from us and part of us. Elijah stared at the pool, mesmerized by the patterns that formed and dissolved within it. I don't understand, he admitted. Your species thinks in terms of individual bodies, single minds and single forms. Vekara's tone was not judgmental, merely explanatory. We are different. What you see as separate beings are projections of a unified consciousness. The physical forms you observe are constructed, not born. Constructed? Raj echoed. You mean, like, robots? A simplification, but closer than biological organism by your definition. We grow our bodies from the elements of this world, shape them according to need, and animate them with fragments of our collective awareness. Elijah struggled to comprehend the implications. So you're a single entity, a hive mind. Not precisely. Think of it as a symphony, many instruments playing together, creating something greater than the sum of its parts, yet each maintaining its own voice. Naomi's voice cut through their comms. "Commander, I'm getting unusual readings from your location. Some form of energy pattern I've never seen before." Vekera tilted her head. "Your companion in orbit is perceptive. What she detects is the essence of what we are. Pure energy patterned into consciousness, using the physical realm as a vessel rather than being bound by it." "That's impossible," Raj whispered.